I'm back with my favorite project pan of the month. This is Pan Those Eyeshadows, and you guys know eyeshadow is my favorite part of my makeup routine, and this month I've had a pretty strange color story, something that probably I wouldn't choose, but I do have 3 shades rolling out today, which is incredible, especially considering some of my uses have not been the best this month. There are quite a few shades that have been neglected, but even still, I have 3 rollouts. I'm so unbelievably excited to share this progress with you today. So if you don't know how I like to do this project, I have different categories of eyeshadow in this project. So first, I have my Focus eyeshadow palette, which is my Carnival XL Pro. I have 1 shade that I'm panning in this palette. I try and hit pan on it, and when I hit pan on it, I move on to a new hand-chosen shade in this palette. Then I have a randomized shade from my whole makeup collection. I randomize 1 shade from a palette. I don't know what it is, and I also try and hit pan on that. And I do have a hit pan or 15 use goal as well. So even if I don't hit pan, but I've used a shade 15 times, I can then choose to roll it out. Then I have a hand-chosen shade from my main makeup collection. This is, as it sounds, I go through my makeup collection, try and find a shade that works with some of the other shades that I'm panning, something a little bit different maybe, and I try and hit pan or 15 uses. And then finally, I have a randomized single eyeshadow. I do find that a lot of my single eyeshadows do go neglected, so I've really loved having this aspect of this project in here as well. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, like and subscribe. I upload every single day here on my YouTube channel. I love bright, fun, colourful makeup looks. I love project panning, get ready with me's, and I'm dabbling in some reviews as well. So if that sounds like a good time to you, then definitely stick around. I'm trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I just hit 4.6. So I think we're gonna smash that, and I'm like still baffled by that number. So thank you all so much for your support. And now let's jump in to the video. So as always in these kinds of videos, I'm gonna go from newest product to oldest product, because normally the oldest product has the best use, and I want to keep some suspense. So I'm gonna start with a shade that we rolled in last month, and I was really nervous actually to roll this in. This is my random eyeshadow from my palette collection, and we rolled in this. This is the shade Right Hand from my Lion King X Revolution Jungle Princess palette, and this was a kind of murky green shimmer, and I knew that I didn't like the quality of this palette, and I did explain that in last update, and I did say I do have the right to roll this palette out next month, meaning this month, if I really don't like the shade. This is what this shade looks like right now. I've used it 1 time, and I can say I'm gonna roll it out. I don't like the quality. This is like a dense, thick, low impact kind of shimmer. I really just don't want to waste my time using eyeshadows that I just don't love. I kind of had the thought that this was going to be rolling out, it's just not, like even swatching it now, it feels so thick and dense. I am going to swatch it, just even the swatch feels thick. This is what it looks like, very low impact, no shimmer at all in this. The only reason that I have kept this palette is because it's the Lion King, and I am a freak for the Lion King. I love the Lion King so much. I am the weird kid who is obsessed with Lion King. That is me. And that is the only reason this is in my collection. If this was not Lion King, it'd be out. Girl, it'd be out, and this is just not, it's not nice. It's not a nice shade. The mattes in this palette are quite nice, but the shimmers, I just can't. I can't do it. I'm so sorry. So this is going to be rolling out. I have only used it 1 time this month, and honestly, that was enough. 1 time was enough. I knew straight away. So unfortunately, I don't like rolling out shades that haven't had pan or 15 uses, but I'm sure you can appreciate, like, I don't have the time. I have a huge makeup collection full of beautiful, amazing shades. I'm not going to be forcing myself to hit pan on something that I don't enjoy, so this will be rolling out, and I'm going to be rolling in a new random shade from my main palette collection. So that was pretty anticlimactic, and to be honest, the next shade is a little bit anticlimactic as well, but just bear with us because the final two shades are pretty amazing. So this was my randomized single eyeshadow, and I love this category so much. I have so many beautiful, sparkly, indie duochrome single eyeshadows. However, I rolled in this. This was my Revolution Maxi Reloaded shade 9. And as you can see, it is like a murky, greeny kind of shade. I had this in for 2 months, and you can see what it looked like last month. We did have a little bit of usage on this, which was great. And then this is what it looks like today. I have not used this at all this month, which is a little bit embarrassing. It really is. I can't believe I've not even touched it. Oh my god, how has that happened? Did I forget that this existed? Yes, yes, I forgot all about this. This is in a magnetic palette, and in this palette are 2 different shades. These aren't in project pans, so I never opened this palette, and I just forgot that this was in there. So big mistake, rookie mistake. This is not the best quality eyeshadow in the world. I will swatch it for you. So this is what that looked like swatched. It could go with this like chartreusey shimmer satin kind of shade, but I don't know, I wasn't in a green mood. I have said in a few videos, green is one of my least reached for eyeshadow shades. I don't know what it is about green. I just never got into it very much. Like blue and teal, I love, but like green, I don't know, I've just never really been a fan. So this colour story has been a little bit challenging this month, but I know it's here now. I really need to use it. I'm gonna try and use it a lot next month. This I feel like would be quite easy to hit pan on, because even though I've only used it 1 time in the past 2 months, it does have a pretty good like disturbance on it. So who knows, maybe I'll be able to get a good few uses on it this month. I think this is going to go really well with shades in my Pan That palette in order, and also the remaining shades in my Pan That palette as well. I think this could go really well with, so hopefully I will remember that. I need to put it somewhere that I like know it where it is, because I think that's a big issue. I think I'm just not reaching for the other 2 shades. Like these shouldn't even be in here. They shouldn't. They're just here, they're just chilling. So yeah, we need to sort that out. So unfortunately, this will be staying in. No use on it. I'm slightly embarrassed, not gonna lie. But this is where the real progress starts. So if you're still here, this is your reward, because I feel so unbelievably excited about these 2 eyeshadows. I've been working so hard on these 2, and honestly, I'm so upset letting them go, because these 2 I absolutely love. So first I'm going to talk about the shade that was in my Focus palette, my Carnival XL Pro, and when I say I fell in love with this shade, I just fell in love. So this is the shade Ecstasy, and as you can see, it is the brightest green shade ever, and I've adored playing around with this, making new different kind of looks that maybe I wouldn't do on my own if I wasn't trying to really hit pan and use this shade, and it's just been such a joy. It has been beautiful, and this is what it looks like today. I only had to use it 1 additional time to hit pan on this, and I'm gutted. I'm so upset, because this shade has really made me fall in love this month. I've just loved it so much, and I'm sure I will be reaching for this a lot in my free time. This is like perfect for summer. I'm hoping you can see the pan there. This shade, I can't believe I never reached for it before. I'm pretty sure it was like brand new when I rolled it into this project a few months ago. I don't really know if I'd like even used it, and I'm so glad that I rolled it in, because it's honestly one of my new favorites. So that is what it looks like swatched. You can tell this month's color story has been very green, and like I said before, I'm not really a green person, but I found that this shade has also gone really well with like blues and purples and things like that. It's also gone really well with some reds that I'm panning as well. It's just been really lovely, and I'm gonna really miss this. I am really gutted I didn't use these 2 mattes together, because they would have made a really beautiful look, but who knows, maybe I'll like cheekily reach into this again sometime soon, but like don't tell anyone, you know? I don't know, depending on what we roll in today, I can definitely see myself reaching for this sneakily off the radar, and I just love it. I think it's so, so, so pretty. So yeah, we're going to be rolling in a brand new focus shade from this palette, which is so exciting. I've really, really wanted to get a lot more use on this palette, and I think we can. I think we can make some good progress this month. I think I know which shades I'm going to roll in from this palette, but you're gonna have to wait and see. So Ecstasy will be rolling out today, and finally let's talk about my hand-chosen shade from my whole eyeshadow palette collection, and this is one of the shades that I'm wearing on my eyes today as an eyeshadow topper, and I've just fallen in love with this as well. So this is the shade 5 from my Huda Beauty Wild Jaguar eyeshadow palette, and you can see it is finally something different than a green. It is the bright purple shimmer in the middle, and you're seeing what it looked like last month now. I've loved this with my Pan That palette. I've loved this with other shades that I'm panning too. And this is what it looks like today. You can see there is major use on this, but I've said from day one that it will definitely be a 15 use and rollout shade, because trying to hit pan on this is gonna be like impossible. It is one of the firmest eyeshadows I have ever used, so I am more than happy having a 15 use rollout goal. This is definitely one of the shades that the 15 use rollout goal has been made for, because this would take me an eternity. Like, you can still kind of see some of the original embossing in here, but look at this eyeshadow. Oh, can you see it on my eyes today? I'm wearing my It's My Pleasure palette today, and then this topped all over the lid. It has just been stunning. I originally rolled this in for Bonfresco in my Pan That palette, and I actually finished that a few months ago. So I've kind of been struggling wearing this sometimes, because with Bonfresco done, I was kind of like lost on where to use it and how to use it, but I've really, really enjoyed it this month. And I've actually used it 6 times this month, which I think is really, really good for a total, of course, of 15 uses. It is going to be gone. I'm really sad actually, because I've loved this so much. This was definitely one of the palettes in my makeup collection that wasn't as used, and I just wanted to get some love on it, to be honest. And I really, really have. It still doesn't look that used, to be honest, because as I said, this is just so firmly pressed. But I do want to have pans in this in the future. Maybe a Pan That palette contender in the future. Maybe not next year, but who knows? I do want to get more love on this. Maybe I could pan this lid setting shade. This is a brow shade, a wing shade here. Who knows? There's different options for this palette, and I'm really, really excited to see how it looks in the future. But this is my old color story. We have 3 shades rolling out, which is incredible. I only have 1 random shade to roll in, so that is a random shade from my main eyeshadow collection to replace my Lion King palette. Alright, so I'm going to talk about some looks that I did with my old color story, and I did a few really, really nice looks. So obviously today I'm wearing this more purple kind of look, and this has been made with my Huda Wild Jaguar. I did kind of mention this before, so I won't spend too long on it. So this was made with my It's My Pleasure palette, and then of course this as a topper. So I'm going to move on because I've kind of already spoken about that. But this is the second look that I want to share, and again, it is the Huda Wild Jaguar. I feel like you can see this shade a lot more in action with this look. So this was actually one of my work looks, and in the crease and all over the lid, I actually have a shade that I Frankened into my Pan That palette. So if you didn't see recently, I did do a whole Franken and repress video with my Pan That palette. I was getting pretty bored with the shades in there, so I decided to just make new shades, and one of them was this really nice reddy brown kind of shade, and I did use my Huda on the lid here as well. I found it went really, really well. They were slightly different shades, but they still worked really well together, and I felt really nice. You can definitely see the shimmer and the sparkle in this look. I'm really sad letting this go because this look is just stunning. So next, this is a look that I did with my Huda Wild Jaguar and also my Lion King Jungle Princess palette. So I combined these two together. So on the lid, in the cut crease, I do have my Lion King Jungle Princess, and I have the shade Right Hand all on the crease, all throughout, blended a little bit. This is the look that really made me think I don't like this. I don't want this, because it wasn't good. I had to use a topper shade on top of it to make it a little bit sparkly. It was just really bland. It just wasn't nice. And this palette makes my lighting go in and out. So I'm very sorry about that. And then on the lower lash line, I did again put my Huda Wild Jaguar. I was determined I was going to have 15 uses on this month. And I was just throwing it in every look that I could possibly think of. So yeah, I kind of liked the green and the purple and the red kind of mixed together in one look. But it was not something that I'd think I'd try again. And they're the only real looks that I have to share with you today with these shades. Like I said in the first part of this video, I didn't really use these shades that much this month, which is really sad, but let's move on to rolling in some brand new shades. I'm so excited, let's go. Okay, so I haven't put in my most recent eyeshadow palettes in this random number generator because I just want to have the palettes that I got in PR last month to just kind of chill a little bit. I don't want to just go straight in to try to hit pan on them. I want to use them a little bit, get to know them a little bit. So I have got 456 eyeshadows in palettes in my collection. So let's see what we get. Oh, 14. I think that's going to be an Anastasia shade. Okay. This could be interesting. This could be an interesting one. Let me grab that and I will be right back. All right, so I'm back and I have swatched our single eyeshadow from Revolution because that is going to be continuing into our new color story. This is the only one continuing on, which is kind of scary, but I'm very, very excited for this. So I'm going to share with you the random eyeshadow that I just rolled in. It comes from the Subculture palette. So like I said, an Anastasia palette. I was very, very certain of that. And this is what this palette looks like. I actually played with this palette very recently. It was a video titled, like, I used to love this makeup and then I forgot it existed. And I will link it up in the cards if you wanted to see, like, an old school throwback get ready with me. And I did play with this and I just loved it. I realized how much I'd missed this palette. And the shade that was rolled in was this shade Fudge, which is a really nice neutral brown shade. I do already have two pans in this palette. I have one in Cube and one in Axis down here. So I'm actually really excited. Oh, it's so nice as well. Look at that. A little bit of a wonky swatch there. I'm really, really sorry, but this is nice. This could be a brow shade for me. It could be like an outer corner V shade. I have just finished a shade quite similar to this in my rolling project pan. So who knows, maybe I could get a really, really good use on this. I'm really excited. This is a palette that has definitely been neglected recently, and I really don't want that to be the case. So yeah, I'm excited. So let's get my Carnival XL Pro and let's see what shade I want to roll in from this palette. So as you can see, there's a lot of pans in here. I'm slowly but surely making my way through. And the one that I was really thinking about rolling in, and I think I will even more now that I've got Fudge, is this shade Fade here. You can see it's already got a massive dip in it, not from organic use, but I do use this a lot for frankening, and a part of me does hate this like scrape mark on it as well. So if I can try and get some like proper organic use on this and hit pan on this, I really don't think it'll take that long at all, and it'll go so well with Fudge. So that is what they look like there. A beautiful duo. Here we go. These, I'm really excited actually. I've been panning so many warm tone eyeshadows because of my Pan That palette, and I just want some cool tone neutrals. I really do. And I really think we can have pan in this next month. And what's going to be really, really exciting is I think Pillow Talk will also be done next month. I don't know if you can see like the tiny little, like all the different pans in here. It's so thin that it's got to a point where there's like 10 different like pans, and I'm so excited. So if we can get Pillow Talk and then this have pan on it, that's going to be so satisfying. And then I can reach for another shade. I just want all these shades to have pan on them so badly. So this is the color story so far. I'm actually liking the fact that this green is in here as well. I feel like this green in this kind of color story is a lot more me than a green in this color story. I feel like I can use Fudge and then blend it out with this green as well to make like a khaki kind of shade. Who knows? But I do have one more shade to grab. I have to go in to my main makeup collection and hand choose a shade to hit pan on. Now, I don't know what I'm going to use. I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know. Am I going to do a neutral? No, that'd be too boring. I'm not going to do a neutral. That's going to be like my one rule because I already have 2 neutrals. So I'm going to try and find something a little bit more colourful and a little bit more fun. Okay, so this wasn't hard to find at all. It does look neutral on the get-go, but trust me, it definitely is not. So this is a shade from my P. Louise Stack 'Em Up palette. I did do a whole makeup collection and inventory series recently, and when I was swatching this palette, I was just like, oh, I've not reached for this in so long. So I'm gonna roll in Get Up and Grind, which is this like inner corner iridescent-y shade here. And you can tell that I have got some use on this already. And I'm gonna swatch it here. Oh, I'm so excited for this color story. So there we go. It does have like a blue iridescent-y kind of shift to it. I'm really hoping you can see that there. And my brain was like, oh, maybe with like this green, I can do like a 2-shade look with this all in the crease, all on the lid. And then I can do like this all over the lid as well to make it like iridescent. I think that's gonna be so cool. I'm so excited. I can use this as an inner corner as well. I can just go wild. So I'm so happy that I've got this. So let me know, which color story is your favorite? I'm really excited for this color story. Honestly, I think it's so exciting. It really gets me like excited. This one I was kind of dreading. This is not me at all. This is definitely more me. I've got my cool tone neutrals, but I also have some color and a sparkly iridescent shade. I'm really excited. Let me know, do you think I'll have pan on anything next month? Share all your thoughts and your opinions down below in the comments. I would love to read all of them. How are you doing with pan those eyeshadows as well? Let us all know down below. And with that being said, this is where I'm gonna love you and leave you today, guys. I hope you had an incredible day and I will see you tomorrow for a brand new video. Bye bye!